Mic check 1, 2. The Right Honourable Leader of our Parliamentary Front, Honourable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me also add my voice to send heartfelt condolences to friends, families, and comrades of Sarah Eperu, and I continue to pray that the Almighty rests her gentle soul in eternal peace. It is an honor today for me to share my thoughts with you this morning as we launch our alternative budget policies for the new financial year. The theme for today is a reflection of our vision for a new Uganda, a Uganda whose resources are exploited for the benefit of the citizens and not for the benefit of a select few individuals. A Uganda that protects and promotes dignity and basic freedoms and rights for every citizen. A Uganda that puts interests of the people, the citizens, at the forefront of public policy. The alternative budget priorities presented today recognize the plight of the ordinary Ugandan, whom the leaders derive their mandate from, and also paint a clear picture of what we intend to do in order to make Uganda a country that works for every Ugandan. Ladies and gentlemen, Ugandans deserve better health care, they deserve better education, and they deserve better infrastructure in order for them to live their full potential and benefit and enjoy all their fundamental rights. Because education is essential for producing skilled workers, a workforce that will transform communities, it's therefore important that our children study subjects and courses that are relevant to their passion and natural abilities. We cannot achieve without changing, we can't achieve this without changing or in fact overhauling our entire education system and realigning our education institutions. Considering that 75% of Uganda's disease burden is preventable, then we must make our priority to invest in disease prevention rather than disease cure. This should be done in addition to hiring skilled and professional health workers through a fair recruitment process and go ahead to remunerate them fairly and on time. We must think about our creative area. Think about our creatives, provide conditions that don't only protect their intellectual property, but also create conditions that help them to live to their full potential. About the creatives, I could go on and on and on, but the rest, I guess, Dr. Hildeman and others who are creatives and within our leadership will elucidate on that. However, ladies and gentlemen, as attractive as all these alternative policies might be, it is actually impossible to achieve them if the leaders in charge of our national resources cannot rise above their petty selfishness. We must resist, we must reject, in fact, we must eject all forms of corruption in public administration. Otherwise, all this will be going to a waste. Our sources will continue sinking down the long drain of personal greed at the expense of our collective well-being and at the lives of our people, our children, and our children's children. As a national unity platform, we shall continue to take decisive action in that regard. Friends, many good proposals have been presented in terms of policy alternatives, in terms of laws, by ourselves and other leaders. But let us be honest, no matter how good our thoughts are, no matter how beautiful our proposals are, they shall never see the light of the day for as long as dictator Museveni is still in charge of this country. That is my firm belief. Yes, we must continue telling Ugandans the truth as it is, instead of, misleading them with eloquent speeches. We must paint to them a picture of the problem and indeed go ahead and point at where the problem is. The man who has ruled our country for almost 40 years now is not just a political opponent to us, no. He is the embodiment of Uganda's problems. He's a living testament of corruption. He's the testament of oppression. He is the embodiment of the abuse of all democratic principles. In a nutshell, he is the roadblock, he is the stumbling block between Uganda and its progress. So let us face the reality and deal with the reality as it is. It's until you diagnose the problem that you'll be able to deal with that problem. I mean, he and his cronies live in extreme luxury while our hospitals are sick and our schools are rotting away. Yes, we have alternative policies. Yes, we have brilliant minds here in Parliament, wonderful at economics, wonderful at debating and all that. But we shall debate, we shall propose, and we shall articulate issues. But let me be clear to you, once again, my brothers and sisters, that no matter how good our alternatives are, no matter how well-intentioned you, our MPs, are, it won't make any difference for as long as we don't have any power to implement those good ideas. We must get used to that fact and deal with that fact exactly the way it is. I mean, we can draft the most comprehensive budgets, we can allocate funds meticulously, we can strategize endlessly, but as long as Museveni remains at the helm, the efforts will all be like rearranging cups on a falling table. We must channel all our energy. We must channel all our passion and all our abilities and all our determination towards one singular mission: removing the dictator and reorganizing the country as the citizens of Uganda. That is the only way this is going to be possible. So I continue to encourage all of us here present and those watching us outside that we must do what we must do. You cannot take a step unless you unlock your feet. So for now, what we have as a great resource is our collective determination and collective will to have a free country. And after having that, then we shall go ahead to build a Uganda where all Ugandans are equal, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of where they come from, regardless of religion, tribe, or social class. We shall go ahead to build a Uganda where leaders lead with integrity, where leaders are true servants and citizens are the true masters of their destiny. So let us use this resource that we have to put an end to this dictatorship. Let us use this resource to change this country once and for all. I thank you for listening to me, for God and my country. Webalanye okusooka nebaziza leader waffe wa tiimu yaffe ya parliament Right Honorable Joel Ssenyonyi ne tiimu yonna gy'akoze nayo okufulumya budget yaffe eno etali nnene nnyo naye ate ng'efokasinga ku bintu ebiyamba abantu ng'egoberera n'omulamwa ogusitula eddembe ly'abantu si kweyagala bweyagazi naye n'oku enjoyinga oba okunyumirwa oba okweyagalira mu bintu ebyo bye basaanira okweyagaliramu mu mateeka. Naye okusingira ddala obubaka bwange wakati mu kubeebaza olw'okuvaayo ne bajeti eno ennungi n'ebirowoozo ebirungi mbajjukiza abakulembeze baffe nti ebirowoozo ebirungi tujja nabyo bibadde nga bireetebwa naye ekizibu kye tulina nti ebirowoozo bikoma kuleetebwa. Ekizibu ekisinga ekya Uganda yenna kyemalira Yoweri Museveni nga ye sente z'eggwanga zonna azimalira mu kwekumira mu buyinza kugulirira abakulembeze bamwetoolodde na kunyigiriza abantu. So ekizibu kye tulina okusooka okugyawo yenna kyemalira Museveni, then tubeere n'eddembe ebisaasanya sente za Uganda si mu kwejalabya naye mu kutereeza ebyo ebisaana okutaasa abantu ng'amasomero ng'amalwaliro n'ebirala bifaanana bwe bityo.
Kiki oyogera ku nsonga ezigenda mu maaso obadde owulira mu Parliament naddala ensonga za komishona wa mutuuseewo?
Well, saagala ensonga eno nene gireducinga ku muntu omu. Ensonga gye mbadde sikonyeeko ensonga y'enguzi ekutte ejjembe. Newankubadde omu ku ffe naye yalisanga mu nsonga eyo naye abamukulira bye basinga okulya enguzi okugeza sipiika waffe wano, sipiika wa Parliament ya Uganda ye Nakinku mu kulya enguzi. Era ekyo kyetaaga okwogerwako, ensi n'ekimanya n'ensi nemukolinga out kubanga sente ezoonoonebwa Parliament eno zisobola okukyusa obulamu bw'abantu bungi nnyo. So obuli bw'enguzi ye kansa ayonoonye Uganda kati kyafuuka institutional. Enguzi yafuuka ngeri ya kwekumira mu buyinza na ngeri ya kukakanya abavuganya gavumenti. So enguzi ng'ekulemberwa Anita Amongo sipiika wa wano nga mulimu si bokka ba NRM naye nga mulimu n'abaffe kizibu nnyo era nakyo tulina okirwanyisa ate tujja kirwanyisa. Ffe nga NUP tujja kukozesa ebikolwa si bigambo we tulina obuyinza wonna okulwanyisa enguzi naye twagala na buli kitongole kya gavumenti kikozesa obuyinza obwo okulwanyisa enguzi kuba enguzi yesisigiriza Uganda emabega. Ensonga y'obutalotalo mwe bannamawulire mwe abagiteekawo tewali lutalo lwonna okuleka ng'oŋŋamba nti okola ekituufu luba lutalo. Okola ekituufu we luba lutalo then tuli mu lutalo era tulina okubeera mu lutalo nga tulwanyisa enguzi nga tulwanyisa obulyake nga tulwanyisa obwannakyemalira lwo luba lutalo. So si mu kibiina kyaffe, nze ndowooza mu kibiina kyaffe twandibadde nga ekyokulabirako buli muntu kabeere nga sipiika wa Parliament yalidde enguzi, kabeere nga minisita n'akangavulwa nga bwe kirina okubeera. Ffe nga NUP tubawa kyakulabirako, tuli option. Era mu Uganda empya bwe tubikola bwe tujja obikola nga tumaze okugoba nakyemalira.
Biki byeyogera ku bigambo bya Honorable Mpuuga bye yagamba nti you are under siege?
Saagala nnyo kukendeeza kwogera kwange kukukakanya ate kussa ku bammemba bange benkulembera mu kibiina. Njagala nnyo njogere ku nsonga ezigasa eggwanga lyonna. Kati bajeti eno si ya NUP yokka wabula reflectinga ekifaananyi kya opposition yonna. So saagala ensonga za NUP ate nziyingize mu bibiina ebirala. Njagala njogere ku kintu ekigasa eggwanga lyonna si kibiina kyokka nga NUP. Webale nnyo webale. Kyannaku nnyo okubeera mu nsi nga tulowooza nti bw'wabaawo obumenyi bw'amateeka olina kuteesa n'amenya amateeka. Bwe wabaawo obumenyi bw'amateeka nga waliwo evidence oba obujulizi obumulumika then amateeka gakole. Bwe mugamba nti omuntu bw'aba amenya etteeka bateesaganye naye then tugyewo amateeka bibeere byakuteesaganya. Baganda baffe abaasibwa mu makomera tebalina musango n'olw'ensonga eyo balina okuyimbulwa embagirawo awatali kakwakulizo kuba tebalina musango. Bwe baba balina omusango baleetebwe mu kooti bavunaanibwe omusango gubake mu vi oba bagusinge bejjeerere. So si kuteesaganya nabo. Eyo enkola ya kiyeekera tetukkiriziganya nayo, tukkiriziganya mu nfuga ey'amateeka era bwe tunatwala obuyinza y'enfuga gye tujja okutambulirako. It is unfortunate that we live in a country where the leadership thinks, or the rulership thinks, that when somebody commits a crime, you have to negotiate their release. If somebody commits a crime then let the evidence be presented, let them be presented in a competent court, and let them be either convicted or acquitted. We are not going to negotiate our rights. We believe in the rule of law. If there is the rule of law in Uganda, let it work. If the courts function in Uganda, let them work. Our brothers and sisters who are in prison for the longest time, the political prisoners, are innocent, and we continue to demand their unconditional release. We are not going to negotiate, because if you ask us to negotiate, what do you want us to give in exchange for our freedom? Bobo yagala tuteesaganye n'omuntu ng'akutte baganda baffe nga tebalina musango, oyagala ffe tumuwe eki atuwe baganda baffe, kubanga kibamba sibira dembe lyabwe, ate dembe lyabwe eryo si beetegefu ddiwaayo, ne bwe banaateebwa bajja kusigala nga bayanira eddembe lyabwe. So si lyakuteesaako naye lyabwe bange kuba constitution erigarantinga.
How far have you gone with handling the issue of Commissioner Matthias Mpuuga?
Well, everything we do it in the open. We are a transparent political party. And what happened was in public. The information came from the public domain, and we dealt with it as our morality levels permit.
But the Speaker responded. What's your take on the Speaker's letter?
The Speaker is a criminal herself. The Speaker is a criminal, so we don't really have time to exchange with criminals. Thank you very much.
At this moment, internal conflicts has infiltrated your party. Won't this affect the potential alternative policies?
The so-called internal conflicts are a creation of the media. As you have seen, so many TVs have been on rampage, trying to create a non-existent impression that we have conflicts. No, they're not conflicts. The only conflict we have is with criminality, is with corruption, and we deal with corruption as people that know that corruption is a cancer that has bedeviled our country. Thank you very much.
Maybe lastly, Honorable Mpuuga says you are under siege and doesn't know how to help you. What's your take on this statement?
Well, we major on majors and minor on minors. Thank you.